Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with your calf muscles seizing up like a twisted rope? Or maybe you've noticed that getting up from your favorite low chair takes just a bit more effort than it used to. Perhaps you've caught yourself hesitating at the bottom of a staircase, wondering if your legs will feel steady enough to carry you up with confidence. If any of this sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. I'm Dr. John DeMarco, and in my 15 years helping folks navigate their golden years with better health, I've seen these concerns bring so many wonderful people into my office. They'll sit down and say, "Doc, I don't know what's happening to my body. Am I just getting old, or is something really wrong?" Here's what I want you to understand today, and please listen closely. Not everything that happens to our muscles and legs as we age is just normal aging. There are two very different things happening that many people confuse. One is called sarcopenia, which is the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength that can happen over years. And the other is those sudden, sharp muscle cramps that can wake you up at night or catch you off guard during the day. The beautiful thing is, once you understand what's really going on in your body, you can take simple, gentle steps to feel stronger, steadier, and more confident in your daily life. You can protect that precious independence and keep doing the things that bring you joy, whether that's tending your garden, playing with grandchildren, or just walking through the grocery store without worry. So let's talk about why your muscles matter so much. What's really behind these two different challenges, and most importantly, what you can do starting today to feel more like yourself again. Now, when I mention sarcopenia, you might be thinking, what in the world is that? Don't worry, it's just a fancy medical term for something that affects nearly everyone as we get older. Think of your muscles like a beautiful garden that you've tended for decades. Sarcopenia is like having that garden slowly lose some of its fullness over time, even when you're still caring for it. Starting around age 30, yes, that early, we naturally begin losing about 3 to 8% of our muscle mass each decade. But here's where it gets concerning for us seniors. After age 60, this muscle loss can speed up significantly. Your leg muscles, those powerful pillars that have carried you through life, can lose about 1 to 2% of their strength every single year. But what does this really mean for your daily life? Well, you might notice that lifting a gallon of milk feels heavier than it used to. Maybe you find yourself using the armrest to push yourself up from chairs more often. Perhaps those grocery bags that never bothered you before now make your arms feel tired. Or you might feel less steady when you're walking on uneven surfaces, like going from your house to the garden. The thing is, sarcopenia doesn't announce itself with bells and whistles. It's quiet and gradual. Your body is incredibly smart and adapts slowly, so you might not even realize it's happening until one day you think, when did that become so much harder? This isn't about becoming weak or fragile. It's about understanding that your muscle health directly connects to your ability to live independently, to feel confident in your movements, and to maintain that wonderful freedom to do what you love. Your muscle function affects everything from your balance and coordination to how well your body processes the nutrients from your food. Now, let's talk about those leg cramps, and oh my, do I hear about these from patients. If sarcopenia is like a slow change in your garden, leg cramps are like a sudden thunderstorm that comes out of nowhere. Picture this, you're sleeping peacefully, and suddenly your calf muscle contracts so hard it feels like someone's wringing out a wet towel in your leg. Or maybe you're reaching for something on a high shelf and your hamstring seizes up with such intensity that you have to stop everything and wait for it to pass. These muscle cramps are those sharp, involuntary contractions that can last anywhere from a few seconds to several minutes. They're different from the slow muscle loss of sarcopenia. Cramps are immediate, intense, and often unpredictable. They can happen during the day when you're active, but for many seniors, they're particularly troublesome at night, disrupting that precious quality sleep you need. What's behind these nighttime visitors? Well, there are several things happening in our bodies that can trigger them. Sometimes it's about electrolyte balance. Your body's delicate chemistry of minerals like magnesium, potassium, and calcium can get out of whack. Dehydration plays a big role too, especially since our sense of thirst can become less obvious as we age. Sometimes certain medications can contribute to cramping. Blood thinners, diuretics, or even some blood pressure medications can affect your muscle function. And here's something interesting. If you've been less active lately, your muscles can become more prone to these sudden contractions. The thing about leg cramps is they can really impact your daily life in ways that might surprise you. Poor sleep from nocturnal cramps can leave you feeling tired and less sharp during the day. You might start avoiding certain activities or movements because you're worried about triggering a cramp. Some folks tell me they've even stopped swimming or walking as much because they're concerned about cramps happening at inconvenient times. Now, here's where things get really interesting, and I want you to pay close attention because this is where many people get confused. While sarcopenia and leg cramps are two different things, they can actually be connected in ways that affect your overall muscle health. Think of it this way. If sarcopenia is slowly reducing your muscle strength and mass, those remaining muscle fibers might have to work harder than they used to. When muscles are working harder and potentially not getting all the nutrients they need to properly function, they can become more prone to those sudden contractions we call cramps. It's like having fewer workers in a factory. The remaining workers have to strain more to get the same job done. And when you're straining more, you're more likely to have problems. Your muscle function depends on good nerve signaling, proper electrolyte balance, and adequate blood flow. When sarcopenia reduces your overall muscle health, it can affect all of these systems. But here's the hopeful news. Many of the things that help prevent sarcopenia also help reduce muscle cramps. Good senior nutrition, staying properly hydrated, getting the right vitamins and minerals, and keeping your muscles active all work together to support your overall muscle health. The key difference is timing and treatment. Sarcopenia requires long-term strategies focused on building and maintaining muscle mass through protein intake, resistance exercises, and overall nutrition. Leg cramps often need more immediate attention to things like hydration, mineral balance, and sometimes gentle stretching or movement. Are you starting to see how taking care of your overall muscle health can address both of these challenges? That's the beautiful thing about focusing on your body as a whole system. When you nourish and strengthen your muscles properly, you're working on multiple problems at once. So what can you actually do about all this? I'm so glad you're still with me because this is where we get to the really empowering part. You have more control over your muscle health than you might think, and the solutions don't have to be complicated or overwhelming. Let's start with nutrition because this is truly the foundation of healthy aging. Your muscles are constantly breaking down and rebuilding themselves. Yes, even at 60, 70, 80, and beyond. To do this effectively, they need the right building materials, which come from the food you eat. Protein is absolutely crucial for senior muscle health. I often tell my patients to think of protein as the bricks that build and repair your muscle house. As we age, we actually need more protein than younger adults. About 25 to 30 grams per meal is a good target. This doesn't mean you need to eat huge steaks every day. Think eggs for breakfast, maybe some Greek yogurt with nuts as a snack, chicken or fish for lunch, and perhaps some beans or lentils with dinner. Those eggs I mentioned, they're actually one of the most complete proteins available, containing all the essential amino acids your muscles need. And they're so versatile. Scrambled with some vegetables, hard-boiled for a portable snack, or added to a simple soup. Now let's talk about those mineral superstars that help prevent muscle cramps. Magnesium is like the calm down signal for your muscles. It helps them relax after they contract. You can find magnesium in nuts and seeds, dark leafy greens, and whole grains. Potassium, which you probably know about from bananas, helps with proper muscle function and nerve signaling. But potassium isn't just in bananas. It's also in sweet potatoes, spinach, and even white beans. Calcium isn't just for bone health. It plays a crucial role in muscle contraction. The thing is, your body needs vitamin D to absorb calcium properly, and many seniors don't get enough vitamin D, especially during winter months or if you're not spending much time outdoors. Here's something that might surprise you. Those omega-3 fatty acids from fish like salmon, sardines, or mackerel don't just support heart health, they also help reduce muscle inflammation and support muscle repair. Even if you're not a big fish eater, you can get omega-3s from walnuts, flax seeds, or chia seeds. But nutrition is just one piece of the puzzle. Your muscles need movement to stay strong and function properly. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, Dr. DeMarco, I'm not about to start lifting heavy weights at the gym. And you don't have to. Some of the most effective exercises for senior muscle health can be done right in your living room. Resistance training doesn't have to mean barbells and weight machines. It can be as simple as doing chair exercises where you use your own body weight, or using resistance bands, which are gentle on joints but effective for building strength. Even activities like gardening, where you're digging, lifting, and moving, provide natural resistance training. Balance exercises are incredibly important too, because they help prevent falls, while also strengthening those deep muscle systems that support your stability. Something as simple as standing on one foot while holding onto a chair, or doing heel-toe walking can make a real difference in how steady and confident you feel. And for cramp prevention, gentle stretching, especially before bed, can be remarkably helpful. A simple calf stretch, just putting your hands against the wall and stepping one foot back, held for 20 to 30 seconds, can help prevent those middle-of-the-night surprises. Now let's talk about hydration, because this is something I see overlooked so often. As we age, our sense of thirst diminishes, but our need for proper fluid balance doesn't. Dehydration is one of the most common triggers for muscle cramps, and it also affects how well your muscles function overall. The old 8 glasses a day rule isn't wrong, but it's not the whole picture. Pay attention to your body. If your urine is dark yellow, you probably need more fluid. If you're feeling tired or getting headaches, dehydration might be playing a role. And remember, it's not just water, herbal teas, milk, and even foods like soups and fruits contribute to your daily fluid intake. But here's something important. If you're on medications that affect fluid balance, like diuretics, work with your doctor to make sure you're staying properly hydrated without interfering with your treatment. Let me share some practical tips that you can start using right away. For your daily eating routine, try to include a source of protein at each meal. This could be as simple as adding some nuts to your morning oatmeal, having a piece of cheese with your afternoon snack, or making sure there's some chicken, fish, or beans with your dinner. Keep some of those cramp-fighting foods handy. Bananas for potassium, a small handful of almonds or pumpkin seeds for magnesium, and maybe some canned salmon or sardines for those omega-3 fatty acids and complete protein. Greek yogurt is another powerhouse. It's high in protein and contains calcium. For exercise, start small and be consistent. Even 5 minutes of gentle movement every day is better than an hour once a week. You might try doing some simple leg lifts while you're watching TV, or taking a short walk around your house or yard after meals. If you're dealing with frequent cramps, pay attention to when they happen. Are they worse at night? Do they come after certain activities? This information can help you and your healthcare provider figure out the best approach for your specific situation. Here's a gentle bedtime routine that many of my patients find helpful. A few simple stretches, especially for your calves and hamstrings, followed by some light self-massage on your legs. Keep a glass of water by your bedside because sometimes nighttime cramps can be your body's way of saying it needs more fluids. Now, I want to address some questions that come up frequently. Many people ask me, is muscle loss just inevitable as I age? And while it's true that some changes happen naturally, you have enormous power to slow down muscle loss and even regain strength. Your muscles remain capable of growing and strengthening throughout your entire life. They just need the right support. Another common question is about supplements. While I always prefer getting nutrients from whole foods when possible, sometimes supplements can be helpful, especially for vitamin D, vitamin B12, or magnesium if you're not getting enough from food. But here's the key. Always talk with your healthcare provider before starting any new supplements, especially if you're taking medications. People often wonder how often they should exercise for muscle health. The beautiful thing is that your muscles respond to consistency more than intensity. 3 times a week is excellent, but even twice a week can make a meaningful difference. And remember, exercise doesn't have to be formal. Dancing, gardening, playing with grandchildren, or doing household chores all count as movement. Some folks worry about whether their muscle cramps are serious. While most cramps are harmless, you should definitely talk to your doctor if they're happening very frequently, if they're severe enough to significantly disrupt your sleep or daily activities, or if you notice muscle weakness that doesn't improve. Let me tell you when it's important to seek professional help. If you're experiencing significant muscle weakness that's affecting your ability to do daily tasks, if cramps are happening multiple times a week, or if you're concerned about falls or balance issues, please don't wait. Your healthcare provider can check for underlying conditions, review your medications, and possibly recommend blood tests to check your vitamin and mineral levels. Also, if you notice sudden changes in your muscle function or strength, that's something to address promptly. And if you have diabetes, heart conditions, or circulation problems, muscle health becomes even more important to monitor carefully with professional guidance. Remember, there's no shame in asking for help or getting a professional assessment. In fact, it's one of the smartest things you can do for your long-term independence and quality of life. As we wrap up our time together today, I want you to remember that your muscle health isn't just about avoiding problems. It's about protecting your freedom, your confidence, and your ability to enjoy all the wonderful experiences that life still has to offer you. Whether we're talking about the slow changes of sarcopenia or the sudden surprise of muscle cramps, you now understand that these aren't just normal aging that you have to accept. You have tools, you have knowledge, and most importantly, you have the power to make changes that can help you feel stronger and more steady. Every choice you make, from adding some extra protein to your breakfast, to doing a few gentle stretches before bed, to making sure you're drinking enough water, is an investment in your independence and well-being. These aren't just about your muscles, they're about your ability to continue being the vibrant, active person you want to be. Your health journey is uniquely yours, and it's never too late to make positive changes. Whether you're 55 or 85, your body is still capable of responding to good nutrition, gentle movement, and proper care. You're not just preventing problems, you're actively building strength and resilience. If this information has been helpful to you, I'd be so grateful if you'd give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from it. Maybe it's a friend who's been struggling with nighttime cramps, or a family member who's been worried about their stability and strength. And you know what? I've noticed that many of you wonderful folks watch these videos all the way to the end, just like you're doing right now, but then quietly slip away without subscribing. Don't be shy. If you found this helpful, that little subscribe button lets me know I'm on the right track. and encourages me to keep sharing more insights that can help you live your healthiest, most confident life. Remember, taking care of your muscle health isn't just about you. It's one of the most precious gifts you can give to your family and loved ones. When you stay strong and independent, you're showing them how to age gracefully and confidently. Thank you for letting me be part of your health journey today. Here's to stronger muscles, better sleep, and the confidence to keep doing what you love. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.